Hello VC, Jacob here with another Vinyl Finds video. Um, and I don't know, it just seems like I just keep buying records. And when I buy records, I want to show them to you. So that's why there's another Vinyl Finds video. I've sort of fixed the lighting. I mentioned in my last video that the electricity thing up there that my lamp in my music room goes into has broken. So my lamp in the ceiling here doesn't work anymore. So I brought in an extra lamp. So hopefully the lighting is okay. You can see more of the record collection. Well, part of the record collection now, I guess, and all my other junk. Wow, I really have a lot of stuff up there, which is not good because I've been spending most of today. You can see some paint here in my hands. I've been spending the large part of today painting, not our current house, but our future house, which we are going to move into within the next couple of months. So um, at some point within the next couple of months, I have to pack all of this shit down and into very heavy moving boxes. And I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to moving, but not the actual moving. Um, yeah, so that's happening, and it's Sunday night, and I find myself once again home alone with the cats. My wife is in Copenhagen tonight, attending a concert by one of the biggest singing sensations of the late 80s. And when she bought the tickets with her friend, she asked me whether I wanted to come, and I said no, because, 41-year-old hipster Jacob thinks that going to a show with this guy would just be ridiculous, and I would be the laughingstock of all of the cool kids. But I can feel now that she's gone to the show without me, that the and by the way, the show was sold out in an instant. Um, I can feel that the 12-year-old Jacob is kind of jealous of her, and kind of sad that I'm not going. Um, my wife is going to a concert with Rick Astley, and and I wanted to go too. Yeah, I don't know. Rick Astley. It's Rick fucking Astley. Um, you can say what you want about him. I was a big fan of Stock Aitken Waterman, the producing team behind Rick Astley and Kylie Minogue and Sinita and a lot of other big acts over here in Europe in the late 80s, early 90s. And I would have actually loved to see Rick Astley live, but I chose not to buy a ticket, and it was sold out. The show was sold out in a day or something, and it was just not possible for me to get hold of a ticket. So Rick Astley. I mean, if you just for a second forget about the hipster part and the oh no, I only like African psych music from the 70s or Brazilian psych music from the 70s. How cool would it be at a show to stand in the crowd and sing along to Never Gonna Give You Up? Honestly, how cool would that be? That would be very cool, and I can't do that. But I hope that my wife is having a good time with her friend. Um, yeah, damn it. Um, in other news, a couple of my VC friends have been very concerned um, lately regarding me, basically, because in the past two videos I have not shown any beers. I've not had any alcoholic beverage with me, which is unlike me. Um, So to make that right again, I am enjoying a beer with this video here. And this is like a hi-fi beer. So this is a hi-fi nerd beer. This is once again from Mikkeller. Oh, you can see that already there. My favorite brewery. Um, this beer is called Bio Brew. Now, if you're a hi-fi nerd, you probably know that logo right there, B and O, which is a Danish company called Bang og Olufsen, who do, amongst other things, record players. They do hi-fi, very high-end, very, very expensive, high-end stereo equipment, including record players. And Mikkeller has done this beer here, which is a double IPA, if I remember correctly. Well, no, it says that right there. It's an IPA. It's not a double IPA. It's an IPA. And this was infused with beautiful music from Mikkel Metal, Kaito, who else here? Portable, KTV, Cormac, and Brendan Miller. What I've read about this is that basically that music was played whilst the brewing process was ongoing. So that's what they mean by infused. Um, yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, basically. But it's a good beer, I think. Check out my new beer glass from the Mikkeller web shop. Two guys on a motorbike. Let's give this a go. Yeah, that's good. Very nice, very hoppy, fresh. Looks like a good cup of morning urine. Thankfully, it does not taste like that. So got that out of the way. The beer, the wife, the moving part. Let's go to the records. I have 8 records to show you. I call this Vinyl Finds video theme. The theme for this video, sorry, is blind buys and masterpieces. And why is that? Well, because I have some blind buys and I have some masterpieces that I have bought. So a couple of weeks ago, the main town in the neighboring island to the island on which I live, they every year they throw this flea market event where along the main street, which is like I don't know, 2 or 3 kilometers long or something. Everyone who lives there can put out like a small stall or a small table or whatever, and sell whatever items they want. And it's a really big event. A lot of people attend, and I always go there, to look for records. And I found some really good records over the years. Last year I found the Duran Duran the Wedding album, which is like a $50-$60 record or something, and I got it for like $2.50. So that was pretty awesome. And I also got some other good stuff. This year, I only found two people selling records, and the first one I went to, the first one that I saw rather. It was hard to tell that they actually had records there. They had like one crate of old records there. I only noticed it because I saw a guy around my age with hair loss and with a big beer belly, just like me, on his knees looking through something. And whenever I see a sad person like that, I know that he's looking through records. And indeed he was. And it was actually a guy that I know who buys records very cheap and sells them very expensive, and I've bought some records off of him previously. So I knew that if there was anything good, he would have already gotten it. And he did. There were 2 good records. There was the Bob Dylan John Wesley Harding album, which I don't have, which he bought. And then there was a 7-inch, an old original pressing 7-inch with Charles Mingus and some like 3 or 4 other jazz dudes that I would have really, really loved to buy, but he he got there before me, and so you know I was just out of luck. And then I just said to myself, well, if I am to pick up records anywhere else, I need to get there before him. So I basically I started running up the street looking for records. Sorry, there's a cat in the room now. Sorry, and he is he's looking for trouble basically. Come. Yeah. So this is Akonso, one of the cats in the house, and he can be an asshole. That's his tail. And right now he's telling me that he wants to be an asshole. So he is going to do everything he can to mess up this video. And you're not drinking my beer. No, what you are is going down on the floor. Yeah, sorry. Because we're 11 minutes in a console and we have not shown a single record. And people are getting angry. And they're getting restless. And they want to see some records. So, and up you come again. Okay, wow. Okay. Well, say hi to the VC, Akonso. This is Akonso. Let's look at the records if possible. I think I need to get rid of this one, this guy here, because he's very interested in my beer, and you're not drinking my beer. No, you're not. Nope, you're not drinking my beer. Hang on a second. I just need to get rid of this guy. Nej, Konso, nej, hold nu op, det går ikke. Okay, got rid of the cat. Here we go with the records. Like I said, if I wanted to get records before this guy, I needed to run up the street, and I did. And I found one other place that sold records, and I got 5 albums very cheap, and some of them I have no clue what what they are. First one is one of them, Nancy Wilson. I don't recall ever hearing of Nancy Wilson before. This is an album called Now I'm a Woman. It was released in 1970 something. The reason why I got this is that, if you look at the front cover here, it has some very well-known songs. So, The Long and Winding Road, Bridge Over Troubled Water, They Long to Be Close to You, How Many Broken Wings? I think that was a hit by someone else also. So this has a lot of well-known songs. I don't recall ever hearing of Nancy Wilson. This was released on Capitol. Still, there's no year. Wow, thanks a lot. And as always, I didn't do my homework, so I don't recall the year. It is on Discogs, but I don't recall the year. I'm not going to look it up now. It's from the 70s. I'm guessing it's she's a soul singer. I'm guessing. And yeah, if you know Nancy Wilson, if you know this album, let me know in the comments below. What should I expect? I got this for 15 Danish kroner. It's around $2. I think the exchange rate is, I think we have to pay 6.5 kroner approximately for $1. So it's around $2. If I like it, I like it. If not, I'll have one more record to make a fruit bowl of. Next one I picked up, I know this guy. I picked it up primarily, in order to sell it and just make a very, very, very small profit. David Lee Roth, Skyscraper. I don't think that this, there's a lot of glare, sorry. I don't think that this is an album for me. I'm not necessarily a big Van Halen fan. I'm not a big David Lee Roth fan. I'm gonna listen to it and give it a shot, but this is most likely not me. This was released in 1988. I don't know any of the songs on this one. I know that he had some hits with some of his previous albums. He did a version of Just a Gigolo, and he did the California Girls. But I mean, those were, I'm sure, those were from albums prior to this one, I believe. This was produced by Steve Vai, by the way. Where does that say that? It says right there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a listen, and probably won't enjoy it. Paid $1.50 for it, so that's okay. I also got this one, which I don't see too often, and that's why I got it. Again, I'm not a fan, but I bought it because I think that I can maybe make a small profit of it if I sell it. Extreme and their album Porno Graffiti. Obviously, this is the one with their major hit, More Than Words, which basically is a song that I've just heard way too much. I liked it when it came out in 90, 91, 92, 1990, okay. I liked it back then, but yeah. There is one song on here that I like though, and that's the Get the Funk Out. There it is. I kind of like that song, but yeah, cover is a bit worn. Released on A&M Records. You know, I bought it. I'm gonna give it a listen and probably sell it. Probably won't make that big of a profit now that the cover is worn out. I didn't see that when I bought it. So yeah, why not? That's 3 of the 5 records that I got at the flea market. Next one, I'm gonna hang on to this one. This is Isaac Hayes and the album called Joy. I don't have any Isaac Hayes albums. I know him obviously from the Shaft soundtrack that he did, and of course also from his role on South Park. This is a 1973 album released on Stax. And Isaac on the back of the cover shows off his idea of summer fashion, which is basically a chain shirt to, you know, make sure that you don't get too hot, I guess. A lot of air condition in this one. Yeah, probably not the smartest outfit to wear. Enterprise is the record label. It says Stax on the back. Anyways, I don't know. That's the label there. Looks right, kind of cool. Looking forward to giving this one a spin. There are only 5 songs on here. Some of them are quite long. One is 15 minutes. One is 11 minutes. So yeah, I'm all up for this one. Ready to give Isaac a spin. And the last one. I think is actually could be worth a bit more than I actually paid for it. Grateful Dead, In the Dark. A band that I'm not that familiar with. I've known of the Grateful Dead for a long time. I've known their band name from way back in the late 80s when I went to the library in my hometown and borrowed cassettes. I always saw Grateful Dead cassettes there, and I saw this one too. I may even have borrowed it back then and gave it a listen. I don't recall. If you were to ask me to name one Grateful Dead song, I would not be able to. That's how little I know about this band. I got this because it was cheap. $2.50, almost $3, and I can sell this for I think a bit more if I want to. I'm gonna give it a spin. It's the inside of the gatefold here. I don't believe that the Grateful Dead are as popular in Europe as they are in the States. In the States, they are legendary. Jerry Garcia obviously is a legendary dude. Bob Weir also. I know of him or of them, but I wouldn't really know what to expect from this album. Sorry. Yeah, if I like it, I'm keeping it. If not, I'm gonna sell it. Grateful Dead. So those were the records that I got from that small market, and because there were only those records there and not too many people selling records, I took the time to visit a record store which is in a town not too far away that I guess opened up 3 years ago, and I'd never visited them. It turns out that it is they have records, but they also have men's clothing. They also have DVDs, and they also have other stuff. I think that if you ask them nicely and if you want to pay them, they will even mow your lawn. Uh, Basically, it just seemed like these guys, you know, they're very friendly. Um, it just seemed like you know, um, it was just all very informal, and they were just chilling. And anyways, I got 3 records there, new records. All of them reissues though. First one won't make any sense to the most of you. This is a Danish hip hop band called Benal, and their album is called Nu, or in English Now. This is their second album from 2015-16. They are awesome. I don't listen to hip hop, at least not modern hip hop, but these guys are amazing, and I really love them. Um, 2 other records that I picked up are reissues from last year, both of them, of masterpieces. That's why I call this video Blind Buys and Masterpieces. Both of them released in 1997 originally. First one is this one, Time Out of Mind, Bob Dylan. His in many's opinion, his last truly masterpiece of an album. This is amazing from start to finish. Lovesick, standing in the doorway, trying to get to heaven. Cold Iron's Bound, Highlands, the last track, which seems like it goes on forever, but you know, you're just swept into Dylan's, you know, the comfort of Bob Dylan. Wow. This is, like I said, is a reissue, and it, in addition to the 2 discs which contain the album, there's also a bonus 7-inch with Lovesick and Cold Iron's Bound. So Lovesick is a remix, and Cold Iron's Bound is a live recording. I don't believe that this one was included in the original album back in '97. I think this is special for this reissue. But yeah, if you're a Dylan fan, you know that Time Out of Mind is just a masterpiece. I've listened to the CD so many times, and I finally have it on vinyl now, which I'm so happy about. And yeah, this is truly an amazing album. Enter the other cat in the family. Carlo has just entered the room. He is most likely camera shy and won't be joining us. But he is ready to make some trouble, I can see. Yeah, I know. You're also a bastard, right? Yeah. I have one more record to show, Carlo. You need to wait. You need to wait. Last album that I got is the reissue from last year of OK Computer, called OK Not OK. 20 years anniversary, 20th anniversary. 3-disc album, contains the original album on 2 records, so 3 or 4 songs on each one, and then there's 1 record with bonus tracks and B-sides, and also 3 previously unreleased songs, which is really cool. And this, believe it or not, is, besides the debut from Radiohead, Pablo Honey, this was the only Radiohead album that I did not own on vinyl. I have it on CD, obviously. I got it when it was released in '97, but I did not have this on vinyl. And I am a big Radiohead fan, and for some reason this one I just never got around to buying. I looked at it several times before this one came out, so basically just the standard 2-disc reissue, but I'm really happy that I waited and then got this one instead. Like I said, this is a 3-disc thing, so it's like it's not a triple gatefold. It's a double. You know, it's a standard gatefold, but then it has this extra disc just glued on, or this extra jacket just glued inside the gatefold jacket. Radiohead, of course, as always, with some really cool artwork. I can take one of the records out if you want to see it. It's just a standard black version. I think this was originally released in a limited edition blue vinyl thing also. But those are the records on XL recordings. The original version was of course on EMI, on Capitol, if I remember correctly. So very happy to get this one as well. And even though I know the album from start to finish, it's gonna be great to sort of rekindle with it, because it's been a long time since I heard the album. I know it from start to finish, like I said, but it's always good to hear it once more. So so those are the records that I want to show you. And it's now 11 minutes past 8 on a Sunday night, and this guy has just entered the stage at Vega in Copenhagen, and my wife is enjoying it. I still regret not getting that ticket. I think I'm gonna put it on now and listen to some Rick Astley on my own, with my head in my hands, bawling my eyes out that I'm not there to witness the brilliant Rick Astley live. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Bye for now, VC. I have some Rick Astley to listen to,